Cause we just tryna get it poppin', what's good? Yeah, yeah. You know all my bitches love it when we get turned. Oh, yeah. And no, it ain't no turning down, baby. Yeah. Ain't no drama, we just tryna have a good.
Hi guys, it's your girl RoyalT back at it again with another video, and today I filmed an eyebrow tutorial for you guys. Finally, it has been a highly requested video and I am bringing it to you guys today. So if you would like to learn how to slay your eyebrows, just keep watching. So to start off, what you're gonna do is you're going to brush your eyebrows kind of like in an upward motion, going along like the way that the hair grows, to make sure that they're all like straight and in line. Then you're gonna take your pomade. I use MAC's Dipdown pomade. Then I take my brush and I draw from, like, if you're looking dead on, kind of like where your eye, if you're looking straight on the center of your eye, so about there is where I'll start drawing the line on the bottom. So you're gonna follow your eyebrow hairs and draw a line from where we marked to the very end of your eyebrow. And it should look like this. Then you're gonna grab a little bit more of the pomade and you're going to draw from the same exact spot, but on the top of your eyebrow. Oops, on the top of your eyebrow, and connect it to the end of here. Now, the way that my eyebrows grow, they grow pretty funky. It's an empty gap right here, so I do fill that in. I shaved my eyebrows with a razor when I was younger, yeah. So I do make like a hump to fill that in, so it looks full. So we're gonna start from where we started on the bottom. We're just gonna do the same thing on the top. Start there. And the main thing when it comes to filling in your eyebrows is you just have to follow the way that your eyebrows are. So you see how I'm gonna come around instead of just going straight down. Make like a hump and connect it there at the end. So that's what your eyebrows should look like. Now you're gonna go in with a little bit more product. And this is where you're starting to fill in the tail of your eyebrows. So you're only gonna fill in up to where we drew. So take the product and fill in up to where we drew. Now it's filled in up to where we drew. Now this is the key to kind of like ombreing. I'm not gonna grab any more product after this unless I'm doing some sort of touch-up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lightly take your brush and kind of do like a backwards motion, kind of like this, starting from here and working your way up to the front of the brow. Making small motions, working your way up to the front of the brow to where there is a sort of a line there, but it's not like super deep. You see what I mean? And now we're just gonna lightly fill in all of here. All right, that's what your eyebrow should look like. Now you're gonna take the back, your spoolie, and you're just gonna brush that in until you feel that it's blended. And there's your eyebrow. So the same thing that we just did to this eyebrow, I'm going to do to this one. Now, sometimes when you get your eyebrows arched, they'll arch them two different ways. So I have two different eyebrows. This arch goes way higher than this one, and you'll notice it once I fill it in. And what you have to do is you just kind of have to finesse it and go back and forth and try and make them look as even as possible. They're probably not going to come out the most even, like, so I'm just going to do this one without talking through it. Kind of able to see what I mean by I have two different eyebrows. So this arch isn't as high as this arch. It's not like a huge deal, but you know, now at this point you go in and you kind of look at them and fix any sort of imperfections that you feel like you need to. I'm just this high as this arch. It's not like a huge deal, but you know, now at this point you go in and you kind of look at them and fix any sort of imperfections that you feel like you need to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a concealer. What I typically do is I use the concealer that I highlight with, which is my Tarte medium tan sand. That's what I highlight my face with, like when I do my full face of makeup. So I usually use that color to line the bottom of my eyebrow, and then I have a Tarte color that's closer to my actual skin tone, sort of, kind of, in the color Deep. It's not like the exact thing, but like it'll do. It's not that big of a deal. It's gonna get makeup put over it. But what I use is I use a Morphe M22 brush. It's just a flat rounded brush. Those are the easiest brushes to use. Yeah, see, the flat round brushes are the easiest brushes to use. So I put a little bit of concealer, the medium tan sand, on my wrist, and then just dab a little bit. Dab a little bit on your brush. Don't really need a lot. And I start off with the bottom, and I start off in the same spot, kind of where we drew the eyebrow on. So about right here. Then I'll follow down, and then I'll start making my way up here. Just a little bit more product, and I start working from the front of my brow, and I do start my eyebrow about the middle, not necessarily the middle, a little, it's just a little bit before where the actual brow starts, just so I'll be able, when I do this eyebrow, I'll be able to make sure that they're kind of like on the even level. Once your eyebrow looks like this, you have packed concealer at the top of your eyebrow. At this point, let me see. At this point, your concealer is packed on your eyebrow. So to help blend it out, what we're gonna do first is we're gonna pull the concealer down. And now your eyebrow is concealed. So next, we're going to move on to sculpting out the top of your eyebrow. And I'm gonna go in and use my Tarte in the shade Deep. I'm gonna do the same thing by putting it on my wrist. and only putting a little bit on the brush. And start sculpting out the top. Now with me, when I sculpt out the top, I do start from the front of the eyebrow. Now, when it comes to sculpting out the top of the eyebrow, sometimes you want to go a little bit. So this is where the eyebrow is, right? You want to start concealing just a tad bit above, because once you start getting too close to your eyebrow, sometimes you'll get concealer in your eyebrow and it will mess up your shape that you sculpted out nicely, you know? So I start from the front, above the eyebrow. Then I'll start making my way down, just to ensure that you don't have too much concealer. You do not want to have too much concealer to where it's caked at the top and it's like nearly running into your eyebrow. So I start off kind of lining above the brow, and then I'll start making my way down closer to the brow. You just want to get rid of some of the product so it doesn't drip into your actual eyebrow. And we'll go back in and we'll go down just a little bit more. And if you see here, there's still just a tad bit. Let's focus. There's still just a tad bit of space, but I'm just gonna leave that space, because once you sit back and you see the full face of your makeup, it makes it look more sculpted. So now we're gonna make your way around your arch, but again, don't get too close. And then you can just get a little bit closer. Now when you go around the curve of your eyebrow, just make sure that you give yourself enough space so you're not drawing inside of your eyebrow. Not me getting concealer in my eyebrow, trying to tell you guys not to put concealer in your eyebrow. Okay? So what you're gonna do next is I'm taking a blending brush. This is my Morphe M173. Now I find it easier if I blend out the darker color, and then since some of that product is still gonna be left on the brush, blend out the lighter color so it's not so harsh when it comes to this line right here. I kind of like the highlighted look under a little bit. So that's just a me. Just make sure that if you do the highlighted look, that you make sure to blend in this portion and this portion. So this isn't the same color when you put the rest of your makeup on. How we're looking. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. watching my YouTube video. I hope that my eyebrow tutorial was informational for you. Again, this is my first eyebrow tutorial or anything, you know, so let me know if you guys would like to see something else or if you want me to clarify on something. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.